But we've all heard horror stories of BMW reliability issues. Everything from massive oil leaks, to taillights going out, to faulty water pumps, to oil burning, to thrush arm bushing issues. I have no idea what that is.
What is wrong with you?
So naturally, whenever it was announced that the new GR Supra was going to be on a BMW powertrain, everyone was thrilled and not disappointed at all. Yeah, no.
Many were hospitalized after a riot that occurred following the reveal of the next-generation Toyota Supra.
Everyone freaked out and thought Toyota had completely lost their minds. But had they? The Supra gets a lot of hate for essentially being a Z4. However, you rarely hear people complain that the GR86 shares the same Boxster engine as the BRZ, and let's be honest, they look basically identical. And the McLaren F1 is going down in history as one of the best supercars ever made. And yet, it was made with a BMW engine. So why did everyone hate on Toyota so much for doing this collaboration? I think there's mainly two reasons, one of them being the Mark IV Supra became such an icon and was the flagship of sports cars for Toyota. So whenever it was announced the new Supra wasn't 100% Toyota, people were disappointed it wasn't boasting some sort of new 2JZ. And the second reason is because, as I said, BMW is notoriously known for being unreliable. I bought my Supra over 3 years ago. I've put over 22,000 miles on it, and I've only broken down 4 times.
Everyone's going to be pissed off, even though it's obviously a joke.
Is it obviously a joke?
Yes.
This thing has never left me stranded, not once broken down. It has never given me an issue. Well, besides that one time. About 4 months ago, I noticed excessive oil burning. Whenever I came to a stop, I could smell it and sometimes even see a big cloud of smoke. So I ripped apart my engine bay, I checked my charge pipe, it was completely dry. I checked my turbo seals, my PVC.
What is wrong with you?
And everything else I could think of. And I didn't find anything, so I sent it to a shop. They didn't find anything either. And then I realized about right whenever the issue started happening was after an oil change. Some incompetent, hideous, mindless, overweight idiot overfilled the oil. So I changed it again, put the right amount of oil in it, and the issue went away. I would have been able to tell that it was overfilled earlier. However, some dipshit did design a dipstick in the B58. You have to rely on electronic measurement, which doesn't tell you if it's overfilled. Thanks, BMW. Besides that one problem that was my own fault, I've had no reliability issues with the Supra. The most common thing you'll hear about is oil consumption. However, it says on page 295 on the Supra manual, the engine oil consumption is dependent on your driving style and driving conditions. Therefore, regularly check your engine oil level after refueling by taking a detailed measurement, which you can't do because it's electronic. The engine oil consumption can increase in the following situations. For example, sporty driving style. How else are you supposed to drive this car? I mean, come on. Oh, and there's also a chart from BMW saying that for the B58, the normal oil consumption is 1 liter per 1,500 miles. So, sounds like a lot, but it's not hurting anything besides maybe your bank account.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
Toyota also made sure every single part from BMW was built to their standards. BMW couldn't believe how extensive some of our quality and efficiency studies were as parts came into shape one by one. We would take every bit down to a fastener or rivet and put it through our stringent quality control and dozens of other testing. We'd ship thousands of parts back to Japan for analysis. That's normal to us. Each piece we test at our level. They were now the ones surprised. The B58 will be 10 years old next year, and it's proven itself to be reliable and extremely capable. And the ZF8 attached to it has been around for over 15 years and is arguably the best single-clutch transmission ever made. And then Toyota took them and made them even better. My one friend has over 100,000 miles on the Supra and has had no issues with it other than typical wear and tear stuff like changing out the brake pads. Of course, you still have some kids blowing out their engines and transmissions, but that's because they're trying to push 800 horsepower on stock internals. The safe spot you can stay with these cars is around 600 before you have to start building the transmission and 700 before you have to build the engine, which is pretty much the same as the 2JZ. So controversially, the B58 was the perfect car to put in the new Supra, the perfect engine. So in conclusion, yes, the Supra is very reliable. If you take care of it, it'll take care of you. The only thing I'm worried about breaking is other people's hearts when they realize what a beautiful, fun, capable, reliable car they missed out on while it was still being produced. Just like they did with the Mark IV Supra 20 years ago. I wasn't smooth at all. Ignore that.